Hello everyone, this is Indigo Seeress. I had just wanted to do a special video for you because I had the best intentions to get like a weekly reading energy video out for you Sunday, Monday. But some personal stuff kind of came up and I just haven't gotten a chance to get to that. And it's already Wednesday. So I'm sorry about that. But so what I figured as kind of a nice little surprise or something is I'm going to do a pick a card reading. Okay. And so the topic of this reading is going to be with all these different retrogrades going on with the different various planets. What do you still need to work on or clean up while going through these retrogrades? If you have not done a pick a card reading before, what it is you intuitively pick either card pile 1, 2, 3, or 4, and then go to that timestamp and listen to the reading. This is a general reading, so keep in mind not everything may resonate with you. Some things may, some things might. So, and you might ask, how do I intuitively pick out a card reading? For me personally, is I clear my mind. I take a few deep breaths and I clear my mind and I ask which pile or cards have the message that I need to hear right now. And usually the first number that comes to your mind is the pile that you end up choosing. Okay. And have it be more intuitively, not just because, oh, I like the number 4 or 4 is the last number you hear or number 1. It's that intuitive voice. It comes in clear by itself, if that kind of explains it. If there's something more in depth that you want to kind of explore or have further explained after this, feel free to contact me and we can schedule a reading or more in-depth reading to figure that out for you. All right, so take a deep breath and go ahead, pause this video if you need to as well. And just take a few deep breaths and figure out which pile is good for you. Again, this is going to be pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, or pile 4. I also just want to say that I want to address this too, is that sometimes it might seem that a reading may come across as negative. What I find for my readings is that a lot of it has to do with that deep core healing stuff. In order to not feel stuck, in order to move on, this information that I get from Spirit, the universe, divine, typically it kind of really shakes you to your core and says, like, here, you're asking this question of what you need to still kind of work on or clean up during this retrograde. Here you go. This is what you need to do. So take it or leave it. And so I view it as a way to grow instead of something negative. So just kind of need to say that a little bit. So for pile 1, if you chose pile 1, what I did was this first card is going to be where your energy is at right now, which is a woman holding a coin reversed. Okay. And then the next cards are from my Life Path deck. I love this deck. Well, both of these decks are really easy for me to read. I rarely have to use the book unless I feel that I need to. So it is the Mountain reversed. I'm just going to do this because it's much easier. Okay. Spirit of Place reversed. Oh. Cleaning House reversed. And Envy is going to be energy after you address it. The cards that are there. So, okay, group 1. So current energy, woman holding a coin. So what I get from this card is that you've been really worried about finances right now. So this is your current energy right now, is that you've been really worried about finances. You've been holding things really kind of close to you. It could even be material possessions that you've been really holding on to stuff. Like it's accumulated, like it just feels the word clutter comes to my mind, or maybe a bit of a hoarder, not like to that extent of like hoarder videos, but that you like hold it close in that. and you feel that you could be earning more, or that you should earn more, is what I get from that. Something with the cat too, I don't, maybe this is just somebody specific or something, or maybe it's for everybody, is there's a black cat on here, which for some reason it is coming out to me, and like the eyes are really popping out, and it just reminds me of Halloween coming up in October. And so either something, there's twofold, either you're expecting something to happen financial wise in October, such as like a promotion or something to sell or something like that, and you're hoping, like, in your mind October is that end date. Or the other thing is that something in October may happen in regards to finances or material possessions in October. Not necessarily, like, I get more of the sense of something that you wanted to get rid of and it finally will in October. A little side note. So um, that's that. So for life lessons, again, you had the mountain spirit of place and cleaning house. I think that really ties in with the energy and kind of further just kind of explains things. The mountain to me is something that is very sturdy and standing still. And so I slow down. Okay, so it's sturdy and very standing still. And cleaning house reverse means that there's some stuff in your life you need to declutter and let go. Or the energy has been kind of feeling stale. And because of that, the mountain, since it's reversed, you haven't been feeling as steady on your feet at all. And so you feel kind of maybe a little bit wobbly, or like, where should I go from here type of thing. And so then therefore that kind of also plays into spirit of place, because you don't feel you're at your full potential, again going back to the finances, money, or wanting that space cleared. So the thing to do to turn all of those cards right side up would be to what comes to my mind is, if you're into that, kind of like meditate, ground yourself. That will definitely help you feel more of that sturdiness. Right now is a perfect time to help work on your manifestations. And to manifest is to desire something, such as selling a house, selling different items and that. Or like for me personally, I've been kind of cleaning my house and rearranging some things. And so I will take one box at a time for a day, or like I set my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go through at least these 2 boxes today, or I'm going to go through this today. Even those small little steps is something, and then you manifest it by following through on it, or you let go of it. And that's how you can clean house, is kind of just moving that energy. Even if you like rearrange a room or deep clean a room or something to that effect, you're stirring up that stale energy and kind of bringing life back into it. Especially, I want to say that that's very important, especially before winter hits. Otherwise, if you let that energy continue to sit there, it will continue to feel stale and will carry over, which is something that you don't really want. I guess, okay, for me, for some reason, this card, Envy, okay, this was supposed to be an energy card for if you address these things, okay. What I feel from this card is that it's more the opposite of it. Is it's like, if you continue on this current path of continuing to hold things close to you, not working on clearing that energy in your house or in yourself, okay, because that's what retrogrades do, is they really kind of shake you to your core and kind of bring things that are hidden in the shadows to the forefront. And that could be either like personal, material, career, relationships, all that fun stuff. Don't quote me offhand, but I think there's either 5 to maybe 7 different planets that in retrograde. If you want me to, I could maybe dive into that a little bit more and create a post or a video kind of explaining that a little bit more. Side note. Anyways, so what I get though is that if you continue to not clean your house, not ground and center, continue to hold things close to you, continue to feel on this unshaky ground, is that you're going to end up even to more feelings of being envious of others, hence envy. As you can see, it's just somebody that's kind of like in this gray kind of blue color. Sorry for the glare. And to me, that's kind of like very cold, very stale. And they're out looking at the window with all of this gold and warmth and everything, which is something that you want, right? I mean, everybody kind of wants that, to move on and to want those good things in your life. But part of it is clearing that energy, or clearing your, I don't get that it's more inside. I guess it's more kind of like your physical space as of right now. So I guess that's kind of my general reading for that. And I guess if you have any other further questions or anything like that, or want to dive into it a little bit more, feel free to contact me. And let me just make sure I got everything from here. Anything else for group 1? I'm getting ground and center. The color green comes to my mind too, which is very healing. So if you do meditations in that, maybe surround yourself with green light. That could be kind of a healing light. Or if you're not really into that, like maybe kind of things that can represent green, like maybe wear more green, have a green candle lit, or something to that effect. Something for healing. Well, to me that means healing. All right, I guess that's all that I'm kind of getting, group 1. So thank you for listening, and good luck. And good luck. All right. Anyways. All right. Group 2. Hold on. I'm just going to write down the approximate time here. All right. Group 2. First off, I just want to say for group 2 is that as I was focusing, centering on your group of cards, the word flowers came to my mind. I am not sure why, but it did. And the interesting thing about, while I was shuffling for your card deck or cards, is that you actually get 2 bonus cards, because 2 of them jumped out. And I had such a hard time shuffling the cards, like they kept wanting to jump out, or like a big chunk would. And so what I get from that initially, and I just felt it was such a different energy when I went from grabbing group 1s and then group 3s. Your energy was very different while pulling for yours. I felt very scattered, and I was like, oh my gosh, like what should I do, and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know if, I mean, I would imagine that maybe this resonates for some of you, is that you kind of feel that energy of like, oh, I gotta do this, what's going on, well, oh, this fell, blah, blah, like kind of that fast, not really anxiety, but just kind of feeling like you're tripping over yourself type of thing. So the first 2 cards, the first card that jumped out was the Archangel Ariel for 2nd chakra reversed, and Healer of the Ages reversed. Okay, so those are 2 energy cards that jumped out for you in the beginning. So let me just kind of put this out here. Okay, so I think, all right, so the first card that I had for the intention was your current state of energy, okay? And then the next 3 cards are from my Life Path deck, which kind of further dive into what you need to address, or what still needs to be addressed during this retrograde. And then the last card, for some reason, I intended for it to be the energy after you address it, but it seems like even with group 1 is that it's the energy of not addressing it. All right, so diving in. So the first card so the 2 cards that you jumped out, okay, these are kind of self-explanatory to me, and I will explain them to you. So if you're familiar with the chakras, and being that it's reversed, what that's saying is that chakra definitely needs to be more balanced or cleaned out. It could be blocked, which means that different ways that it can be blocked is either, with thoughts that you tell yourself, or you didn't have it cleaned, so to speak, if that makes sense. Whenever I've done chakras or chakra meditations or worked with people on that, a lot of the times they say to envision the chakra as well. For this one is that orange light, and sometimes you can almost see or sense that there's like darkness in there, or kind of muddied, and so that needs to be cleaned out, hence that's why it's kind of blocked. And the 2nd chakra can refer to the sense of creativity and intimacy and connections. even like sexual intimacy in that as well. And Healer of the Ages reversed to me means that obviously it's the opposite. So then either you need to heal, well, you obviously need to heal that chakra and get that back in balance with everything else in your life in order to continue to on the path of the healer path for yourself. Like you can't be at your A game if you're not in full balance. That's what that's kind of saying to me. And so current state of mind is patience reversed. So there's what I get a sense from this is that um, ever since what I'm noticing, and I've drawn this card a few other times, but what I'm noticing is like on those branches, there's snow, is that there's something that you're told yourself last winter that you wanted to accomplish or do by the next winter. So like within a year's time. And you feel that time is starting to come up and you haven't accomplished that yet, and you're getting very short patience. And maybe that's kind of relates to why I felt like I was tripping over myself and so scattered when I was just shuffling this deck, even is because you want things to happen and you're just like, I need to get this done, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need it in order to be on my path here for that. And since you're so scattered in doing that, your chakra is kind of getting out of balance of that creativity and being able to achieve that goal. And you're in the process too, is you're losing those connections and level of intimacy and not being in the now because you're so worried about accomplishing that idea, which ties into the next set of cards, which again are intention. To me, this one is the egg, to me represents like an idea, which again kind of ties back into what I was already previous saying, is that there's some idea or something that you had wanted to do or accomplish. The owl on top of it, what's coming to my mind right now is that you feel that this is a very wise decision, and him holding the dandelion, when it's in that full bloom like that, you blow it to make a wish, right? So you believe that this is kind of a wise wish, a wise choice to do for yourself in that. However, okay, so that kind of explains that. However, you have into the unknown reversed and details reversed. So again, this could be, again, why, referring back to the beginning of why you're feeling unbalanced and why you're feeling impatient and why you're feeling scattered, is because two things. Is you're not looking into there's some when this is reversed, details means that there is something that you are missing. Okay. Okay, there's two different meanings I want to say, because there's going to be two different kinds of people for this situation. Either there's a detail that you're missing and it's very in your face, and that's why you kind of feel scattered, and that is because you feel that something's missing, right? There's some piece of detail that I'm missing. I need to have this nugget, this thing. If you actually sit down, quiet your mind, and look at whatever you need to or explore into it, is you will find that aha, that detail that you are missing, and you will finally be like, okay, that's what I'm missing. For the other percentage of you, if this resonates more with you, is that the reason why you're getting so scattered in that is because you are overwhelming yourself with those details. I know I can do this too sometimes, and it's natural for people to do this, especially when you're trying to go forward with something new or want something to accomplish, is that you are looking more and more into details of, okay, I need to do this. Well, what about this? Well, what about this? Like you're stuck in that planning stage, and you're overwhelming yourself with all of these details, and that you aren't able to really go into action, if that makes sense. Which also kind of ties into the unknown reversed. What that means is, or what I feel from this card, is that you have this wish, you have this thing that you want to accomplish, but you aren't fully trusting the universe into allowing it to come and manifest for you. Like, I guess that's even just what you need to do, is take a deep breath, Slow down for a moment. Be in the now. Wow. I mean, just saying that gets things kind of like, ooh. So try that, okay? Because you're just so scared. Like, I mean, just even doing that right now, I feel like, ooh, like it just feels so much calmer. You got this. Trust the universe. Don't be so impatient. It will, everything in due time. I know I get impatient too. I think everybody does. Because you're ready to go or you want to accomplish something. It will happen when it's meant to happen, and everything will fall into place as it should. But right now you need to focus and center and breathe and trust in the universe. I believe that if you focus and center and clear chakra and get yourself in balance, that you'll find how much more you can manifest. Yeah, I'm still feeling that. It just feels so centered and comforting. Like you're I don't know how to explain it. You don't need to worry so much. If you don't do that, okay, is you got the walking away card reversed, which means that if you continue to be unbalanced, continue to be scattered, not breathe, and continue to overwhelm yourself, or continue to not really look into that, what minute detail that you're missing, or having that clarity, is that you're going to stand still. Is the opposite of this. Walking away is standing still. In this card, it shows a woman and she's leaving the gate behind and going out into the world, into the light, and moving forward with her intention, her idea, or out into the world, onto the next best thing, moving away from her safe place, okay? Moving away from her garden that she made, type of thing. And she's like looking back at you like, hey, aren't you going to come with me? But again, if you don't do that, then you'll be continue to be stuck and continue to feel unbalanced even further. And that's not a place that you really want to be. And again, it's interesting. This is called threading, okay? Is that at the beginning, right, there's this card with those branches with snow on it, right? And at the end, there's this card with those branches with like flowers on it. So if your intention is to try to have whatever you wanted to accomplish by winter time done, that you need to work on that stuff. Otherwise, if you don't, it may not come into fruition until next spring. So, all right, thank you guys for listening. And again, if you want any further clarification on anything a little bit further, feel free to contact me and we can set up a further in-depth reading. All right, thank you guys. Group 3. What I got for you in the beginning when shuffling for these cards was the word solid came to my mind. Okay, so again, this is what do you still need to work on or clean up while these retrogrades are going on. And so the first card is going to be your current energy state. And then the next few cards are going to be what needs to be addressed or worked on. And then the last card is the energy after you address it. Okay. So your current energy state is the garden and the gate reversed. And your life path cards are Sad Embrace, Bone Collector, and Wishing Well. I love that card. And then your energy for afterwards is Storm Warning, or Warning, what is it? Storm Warning reversed. Okay. So, current energy state. What I get from this, the garden and the gate, means that you... Okay, so if the garden and the gate is right side up, it means that you have worked on creating your sacred space your safe space, your haven, that you've been nurturing yourself kind of, and you've been keeping yourself safe. But being that it's reversed is, to me, that there's something within your garden, so to speak, your garden, meaning your space, whether it's your home space or yourself. I guess looking at these next cards, I guess it's more within yourself, that there's something that needs to be addressed. Metaphorically, kind of like picking out the weeds out of the garden, right? You got to tend your garden in order to have it bloom. Such as for yourself, is that you need to tend to various feelings or thoughts or patterns, especially in this retrograde, is a time to release those old patterns and thoughts, to remove them from yourself in order to bloom, so to speak. And the reason why I refer it more to yourself rather than your space, such as your home or career or different things, is the Sad Embrace card. Okay, so when this card comes up, it means that there's something within you that you have been kind of pushing down or having not, okay, I want to, please don't take this negatively, but you put on that facade, that fake face. Again, don't, let me explain. So like when somebody asks, hey, how you doing? And you're like, oh, I'm great, type of thing. But really you're not. I get that, like, we have to do that in order to get through the day or go through your job or be at home with your kids or whatever it might be, to go out and socialize and all that. But inside, there's a part of you that's hurting. And during this retrograde, it might hurt and it might be really uncomfortable to embrace those more uncomfortable feelings and thoughts. But in order to fully let it go and fully let it heal, is you need to embrace it. And I know that's very, very difficult, and nobody really likes doing that type of work. What comes to my mind is, I remember a time when I was a little bit younger, and I was down in Iowa visiting family, and there was this big, huge rainstorm down there. And I just remember being outside. I forget exactly what I was sad about, but there was something I was sad about. And I just remember kind of getting into that type of a position and letting the rain come down. And I was just crying and just letting it out and letting it go. And but then afterwards, it felt really refreshing to finally let that go. Ways to get that out, what I do, and maybe you could try it, it's up to you, is pen and paper and just free flow journal. Write your thoughts out, write them out. It can be a way to get that out. If you pray to God, pray to the angels, pray to talk about it. Or if it maybe for you is reaching out to that good friend, that solid support that you have in your life, and talking to them about this really difficult thing that you've been holding on to. And maybe it can be in regards to somebody reaching out to somebody, because there's the bone collector. Okay, when she comes up, it is, I'm getting twofold. Okay. For the first half, it could be somebody, okay. So for the first part is that there could be somebody that you could really call up and have them listen to you, that you feel that they can. They're kind of like a mentor to you, and they're not non-judgmental, and they are very loving and kind. The other thing that tells me about this too is that to some of you that are listening to this group 3, is that the word shaman comes to my mind. I mean, to me, she's very kind of has that shaman-like energy. And she's just got this great smile. I mean, the bone collector really brings a really good energy and vibe to this. And so I guess she would be saying to you is that you are safe and you are loved, and know that whatever you are sad about, twofold, is that some of you, it wasn't your fault, and some of you, you had no control over it. And some of you, it's a lesson to be learned. So those are the 3 different things for people who might be listening to this. Going back to the bone collector, is that I was noticing the peacock feather. And to me, the peacock is something that is usually associated with being very confident in yourself and all that kind of stuff. And so what I get from that, though, and with her and the sad embrace, is that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be vulnerable. And I just want to make sure that I don't miss anything that she may have, because it's okay. So when the bone collector appears, she is asking you to look closely at your circumstances to see if you're fully present or reacting out of past conditioning and unconscious expectations. Whenever we're wounded, especially when we're young, it's as if something essential is stolen from us. We adapt and accept a particular version of the truth that then sets us up to behave a certain way in the future when faced with a situation that reminds us of the original event. I think that's very important to be aware of and recognize, especially with retrogrades and letting go of patterns, okay? What we know about ourselves, thus becoming influenced by the perception of limitation. You may feel unworthy or without courage. You may see yourself as flawed or unlovable or expect to be criticized. No matter what your question, the bone collector reminds you that the truth is that you are a powerful being with limitless possibilities. She has kept safe what was stolen from you in the wounding and is here for you as you reclaim it now. You have everything you believe you lack, and the bone collector is your inner resource. Act as if you have what you need, and you'll find you have it after all. Anything is possible with awareness. The wounds of the past need not define you. I think that's very beautiful, and how that really ties in with the sad embrace. I'm glad I read that. Sometimes those cards, you have to read it in order to get the full message. The wishing well is a card that represents making that wish for yourself and, again, letting go. I think it's more about that letting go aspect of it, because you can't really make a full wish and put it down the well. You hold the coin, you make your wish, you put so much intention to it, and then you let go and put it into the well and then just move on, right? Hoping that your wish comes true. The big part that sticks out for me is that letting go piece. So whatever happened to you, whether if that resonates with you from something when you were younger or something that has wounded you on some spiritual level, some mental level, maybe, that needs to be healed, and that pattern needs to be let go because you are somehow repeating it currently. And if you are able to do that, okay, then storm warning reversed to me is that the storms such as like conflict or those patterns that you continue to repeat won't continue to repeat, because it's storm warning reversed. So everything will be clear for you and you will know what to do. Okay. So if you have any other further questions, want any further clarification, feel free to reach out to me and we can schedule a reading. And good luck with this retrograde. Thank you. All right, group 4. While shuffling your cards, the word star came to my mind, okay? And the first card is going to be the energy that you're currently in, and then the next cards are going to be for your life path. And then your last card is going to be if you address the cards that you need to during retrograde. Okay? So, for energy right now is man holding a heart, right side up. Okay? Then your life path cards are Peaks of Joy, Compass, Rescue Reversed, and the last card is Happy Family. So this is really positive. Well, looking over all of it is, I want to say that this has to do more with a relationship. To me, that's what the theme kind of seems like. And currently, right now, with the man holding the heart, what that can mean is that either you're the man, okay, or you have a man in your life that has been holding his heart, and he's been um, deciding on whether or not to fully give you your heart. And so you've just been kind of, or if you're a guy listening to this, if you're thinking about to give your heart to whoever you're in a relationship with, or I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship either. It can be just even like simple further connections with other individuals, that level of intimacy and becoming vulnerable and developing those deeper connections with people. And you've actually been feeling on top of the world and in your right direction and very independent. That's that's what I get for those next three cards in regards to peaks of joy, the compass, and rescue reversed. Is that you have been feeling on top of the world lately. Like you are just, I mean, even when I was getting your cards, drawing your cards and thinking on for picking out your cards and that, I don't hand pick them, but as I'm shuffling and letting them come, um, it just felt very calm and just very like everything's great almost. Um, so what I get from that is that you are just like on top of the world. There's a butterfly on here, so maybe there's a recent change that you've gone through and that you've just kind of metamorphosed from. And you are just feeling so free and light right now. And the compass to me represents, direction. And so you feel for once in your life that you are on the right path and that you are in the right direction. And I guess this reading is kind of to confirm that and to really revel in that fact and enjoy this time and this moment, or these moments, these days, and that. I guess for this referring back to the retrogrades, is that a lot of your stuff that you've needed to address, you've already addressed. That there's not really much else you need to clean out of your closet, so to speak. You don't have much more shadows to deal with, is that you have shed that already and you are on your right path. And the rescue reversed to me represents that you've already essentially been rescued, or you're being independent on your own and you're not waiting for Prince Charming to come rescue you or waiting for somebody to pull you out or give you that helping hand. Is that you've been able to do that yourself. And so a happy family at the end of it, especially with the rainbow in that's such a beautiful card to end this on. Is, again, I think refers back to what I was saying in regards to really reveling in this moment and have joy. Enjoy that joy. Enjoy that peace, that sense of I am on the right path and I am ready for the next phase. Again, referring back to the man holding the heart, is that you have really worked hard, and your current state of energy is you're very open to the universe and very open to experiences and connections. And so happy family to me represents to continue to be open and to continue to foster those relationships and level of intimacy within your circle of friends or family or romantic relationships. This is a really good reading. So I guess it's just to remind you to really, I guess my point is, or what they're telling me is, really enjoy this break in your life. You've had things probably really tough, really hard. You've gone through some hard stuff, and shifting through that, those darker aspects, those patterns, those thinking patterns, and, all that stuff. It's just, you've shifted through that and you've let it go. You've done a lot of the hard work. You've, like, I see almost kind of like you've had to like scratch and crawl your way up out of rock bottom almost. And there's been times where you've had moments of being able to sit still. Like I imagine like going up a hill and you're just crawling up the hill, and like how you slide back and you might relax for a little bit on the ledge, and you finally got to the top of that mountain. You finally, again, peaks of joy. You finally got to that top and you are looking out over the horizon and you think, God, I made it finally. Look at this beautiful scene. Look at this sunset. Look at this. Like, look at what I've accomplished. Despite all of that scraping and falling back and everything, I made it. Enjoy that right now because you have worked hard and you deserve this time to enjoy where you're at. So I guess that would be the advice that they want you to know. So if you have any further questions or anything else you want to explore, reach out to me and we can schedule something. So thank you guys for listening to my video. I hope that the pick a card was helpful to you, and I will be in touch. Bye.